Hi again, everyone. I'm Ollie Matthews. This is the Narcissistic Resistance, and this resistance video is sponsored by contribution from Anonymous, and here's her story. Hi, Ollie. Here's my story. It's really long-winded. Hope it makes sense, as I'm not much of a writer. Just want to thank you for all your hard work. I absolutely love your channel. In my view, it is the best on YouTube. I absolutely love your sense of humor. You have helped me so much. It has helped me cope with dealing with this latest narc. If it wasn't for all your good advice, I might be in jail for homicide by now, as this narc neighbor is driving me nuts. I would like to remain anonymous. Thanks. I feel I have met 4 narcissists in my life, one of them being my neighbor, Sally. Just a little background. Sally is a 32-year-old stay-at-home mom of 2 small children. Sally got pregnant 6 months after meeting her current partner, who runs a successful business. We become friends by accident, as her little girl would keep coming over to play in my backyard. I decided to invite her over for coffee. The biggest mistake in my life. Man, am I a bad judge of character. Sally and I become good friends fast. I felt a little sorry for Sally, as she seemed lonely. It sounded like she had a sister and brother-in-law from hell. Sally told me her sister was mental and her brother-in-law was a narcissist. Not sure why she just didn't stay away from them, but obviously loved the drama. The weird thing is that they should be over at her house in the weekends for dinner, etc. Sally also had this so-called best friend that she would run down constantly, but then again would have her over for dinner. According to Sally, her best friend was too self-absorbed in trying to change her, as she suggested Sally should go to college part-time and better herself, as Sally dropped out of school at 15 with no qualifications. That did not go down well. Sally took great offense to this. Sally would often talk herself up and would run people down that she was close to. She seemed extremely judgmental. She seemed extremely judgmental of people's lifestyles and beliefs. Sally invited me over for a drink one evening. By this stage, I wasn't that keen, as there were so many red flags. Sally had also invited a friend of hers over who I had met before and had gotten on well with, so I agreed. While Sally was cooking dinner, her friend and I were having a good conversation. We're having a good conversation about life and just really enjoying ourselves. From out of nowhere, Sally brings up the fact that her friend couldn't read. I was speechless, and I just said, "That's all right, I can't spell," and changed the subject. I felt so bad for her friend. He looked so embarrassed. Sally seemed to enjoy baiting and bashing people and turning them against each other. She told her sister before Christmas that her parents' mother, who she also dislikes, not many people she does, said that she hopes her baby dies. On Christmas Day, her sister punched her partner's mother in the back. Sally would go on about her sister being stupid for doing this. If she hadn't Maybe if she hadn't have told her what was said in the first place, it wouldn't have happened. Sally is a brilliant shit stirrer. Sally did not like her parents' mother at all. Her partner brought his mom to a house, as she is elderly and has a mental illness. Sally was not happy. She rang up social welfare to report on her, saying she was faking her illness, which was untrue. One evening, her partner mother was over at their house for dinner. Apparently, they had a disagreement. Sally came over to my place to hide out, as she said the woman wouldn't leave, and she ended up calling the cops on her. The cops didn't come, by the way. By now, I was very weary of seeing how she operates. One evening, I received a text from her about her kitten, saying that I had stolen it. I basically said, "Don't be ridiculous. Lock your cat flap and keep the little bugger in," as he kept coming over to my place to play with our cats. Sally then got verbally abusive, told me I had changed and that I was a bad mom and a cat stealer. I did not respond to her text and thought it's time to back away from the friendship fast, as this woman is toxic and not right in the head. 2 days later, Sally texted me and asked if I wanted to catch up for coffee. I told her in a text that I was busy and I just wanted to be a good neighbor without drama. She agreed. A couple days later, she asked me to return all the toys she had previously given me for my preschool. I thought how bitchy, as she said she had too many and she was doing a big clean out and they would have been thrown out anyway, and said I could have them. I said in the text, sure, I will return them, as I couldn't be bothered with her dramas. I returned them the next day and put them in the shed as she requested. She texted me that night and she texted me that night and she and I was missing a couple of small plastic dolls. I told her I can look. I had a good look and can't find them. I said I would give her $20 to replace the missing toys. She responded rudely and she said, no, I want them now. I'm coming over to look for them. I told her I was busy and that I will pop the money in her letterbox tomorrow. Every 2 weeks she would text to catch up for coffee or text abuse to get her 4-year-old daughter to come over to ask for stuff or just let her play in my driveway. I still ignored her and played Grey Rock. I wouldn't answer the door. I was doing gardening one day and up popped Sally with some vegetables from her garden for me. Sally said that she wanted to forget all about the bad things that have happened. She also informed me that she speaks her mind and tells the truth. What a crock of shit. The first time I ever seen her, she had a fag hanging out. She had a fag hanging out of her gob. She denies ever smoking, pretends she is perfect and better than her family. I said that there is a difference. Begin speaking your mind and being verbally abusive and demeaning to someone. She had no comeback to that. She invited me over for a coffee that afternoon, and I reluctantly agreed, and we made time to meet. As I was getting ready to go over, then I noticed she had left in her car without any explanation. I wasn't that bothered, as I really didn't want to catch up with her anyway. That night I got a text from her saying something unrelated. I simply asked her straight away what happened to our catch-up. Sally responded, didn't Kerry come over and tell you that we were going out? Tell her we were going out. This is her 4-year-old daughter she is using as an scapegoat. I just left it at that and ignored her completely from then on. Sally starts to interfere with my business. I run a child care business from my home, which was successful until the earthquake started. I was struggling to keep it running and only had one client at that stage, so they were precious. I share a driveway with Sally, who lives in the front, and I live down the back. Sally has been nothing but a problem. She constantly blocks my client from driving up, gives my client dirty looks, even has complained to the child care company and police, as apparently my client allegedly tried to run her little girl over. Her house is gated, so you would think if she was that worried, she would have had her gate shut. My client has a baby of her own and is the manager director of a company, so she is busy and hardly going to deliberately run a small child over for the hell of it. Defies logic. My client quite rightly came in pissed off and said, you need to do something about your nutty neighbor. Not only is she deliberately blocking access with her car, it is a health and safety issue, as my business needs to have free access at all times in the event of an emergency. I was due for an inspection in 2 weeks, so needed this resolved. I calmly talked to Sally about this, but she told me to ring the police. The police didn't want to know, so Sally continued to park her car and block access, even though she had plenty of room in their carport. One day, Sally and her sister came over and accused my son of keying their car. I was in complete shock at that and kind of just laughed. The sister went mental and smashed something on the driveway. The sister tried to push her way into the house, but I managed to push back and lock the door. I then started receiving tons of text messages from Sally dictating who is allowed on the driveway and that my client is being trespassed, as she thinks now that it was my client that keyed the car. My client rang a couple days later and said she is pulling her son out of care as she feels unsafe. Basically, my business is ruined. It's no longer a safe environment. Sally rang me up on the phone and admitted to stealing my business sign that I had nailed to the front of my fence and said that she hopes I lose my business. How nasty and vindictive, all because I don't want to have coffee with this fruitcake. A month after that, I get a text from Sally saying one of my cats has fleas and I need to look after them better. Then the same day, she mentioned that situation is a mess and that I was never willing to forgive. She texted again that night and told me that I couldn't afford to live in my house. She said that she was going to see my dad about buying it off us, as I previously mentioned about selling up and moving to Australia. Sally also said that I haven't done much with my life and continued to put me down via text, projecting all her crap onto me. I told her that she had a personality disorder and that I wouldn't want to do business with her. This is the first nasty thing I have ever said to this woman. I have managed to keep my mouth shut for months. Sally obviously told her partner that I was being nasty, as he texted me to tell me to stop texting Sally and leave her alone and fuck off. 3 months have passed. I have a male boarder living with us during that time. I am a solo mom with a child. I have never heard a peep out of the bitch's face until the boarder moves out after losing his job. I was coming home from work one afternoon and she was standing there just looking at me. I just pretended she wasn't there. She yells out that narcissist. She yells out there's that narcissist doing the gray rock like she said on the website. Even though she is blocked on my Facebook, she's obviously been stalking me with another one of her accounts. Now this morning she has completely blocked off my driveway access with her car. It never ends with these people. Well, every time she blocks the driveway, why don't you just call the police and have the car towed? Take pictures of the car. You have the text messages. I don't understand why the police aren't doing anything if she's done it, if you have all these text messages. My advice to you would be just to get the hell out of there, because this woman is just living in misery. She's just living in misery. She enjoys the misery. She enjoys looking down at people. And when she doesn't get exactly her way, she lashes out. I mean, this is just crazy. This is insanity that you would want to do this. And the reason she didn't talk, because she didn't know who the boarder was. She didn't know if that was a significant other or not. So when she sees you without a man, that's when she attacks. When she was going to take you out of the house, she was going to call your father to buy the house off of him. She has no respect for other women. She has no respect for herself because you don't have a man around. That's why. I'm not saying run out and get a man. I'm telling you how she thinks. And the one man she brought around couldn't read. Weird. Best advice I have for you is just to get away from her. She cost you your business. You had one client as it was. Move on. You know you could do it. Just find somewhere else to do it. Why are you torturing yourself to share a driveway with someone who's just to put it in your terms, is fucking skits. She's fucking skits. So what are you doing? Cut it off, find somewhere else to, because it's just not worth it. You have no permanent roots there. So what's the point? All right. So thank you so much for your contribution. Thank you for your story. I really appreciate it. Thank you to everybody watching. Please leave any opinions or advice in the comment section below. And again, if you want your story read on the channel, you have a topic you'd like me to cover, a narcissist you'd like to expose, or you'd like to set up a Skype phone call, have a private video made, a Facebook chat, or you'd like to just contribute to the channel or sponsor a video for someone else, You know what to do with the PayPal and email links in the description box. And if you're still unsure, my instructional video will pop up in the final link on this video. Please like and share this video wherever you can. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't, and click the subscription bell to be notified of all my video uploads. This is Ollie Matthews. This has been The Narcissistic Resistance. Bye.